Cobwebs are one of the most useful utility blocks in all of Minecraft, being present in a huge amount of kits. So how do you actually use them? Well, in this video I will go over most of the cobweb tips and tricks, and even some advanced tips that can help you win fights faster. Cobwebs are blocks that slow down entity movements by 75%, unless you use a potion of weaving, which will make cobwebs slow you down by 50%. Since you can't jump in a cobweb, you also can't crit in it. They can be broken faster with a sword or enchanted shears, and can also be used for clutching, as they negate fall damage. The main use for cobwebs in PvP is slowing down players and keeping them in place, so you are able to hit them easier. There are multiple ways to cobweb someone. Number 1. The prediction cobweb. You simply predict where the opponent is moving and place a cobweb at the place where they will end up. This works, but is quite inconsistent, as a player can change their movement unless they are mid-jump. Number 2. Pre-place cobweb. If you place a cobweb beforehand and then knock your opponent into it, you can get the same effect as if you did a prediction cobweb. Good players usually circle around pre-placed cobwebs and try to knock you into them to preserve resources. Number 3. The head web. If you are fighting next to a wall or in a cave, you can hit your opponent next to a flat surface and then web their head, which will make them unable to hit you. You can also box their head in, making them unable to water out of the cobweb. This is very useful in UHC, where there is no chorus through. Number 4. The stun web. The stun web is probably the hardest way to cobweb someone, as you need to stun them and place a cobweb at their feet right after. It is also probably the best way to cobweb someone, as it puts them in the air and disables their shield at the same time, so they become much more vulnerable. How to escape cobwebs? There are many ways to escape a cobweb. The fastest one is probably the ender barrel, but since they are banned on some servers and you have a limited amount, the bucket is usually the most consistent way to get out of a cobweb. Since you can still knock back hit in a cobweb, the best way to escape one is to hit your opponent away and then use the water bucket to destroy the web. Draining. Cobwebs are the main block used when draining someone's water bucket. Since people usually place their bucket on the cobweb, you can try to predict it with a bucket of your own, or in some cases even with a web, but this requires precise timing. Web bubbling. Since you can't hit through cobwebs without a spear, if you are low on health, you can place 2 cobwebs at your feet to block most incoming damage and heal. You can still get shot with a bow, and this does put you in a vulnerable position, so be careful when doing it. Here are some extra tips and tricks that might help you. If you headweb somebody in a kit with chorus fruit, you can actually simply add water at the top of the block to prevent them from teleporting out. If you do it fast enough, you basically make an inescapable kill chamber. If you also place a pressure plate at their feet, you can keep replacing the web by just looking down at the pressure plate and right-clicking. You can theoretically use weaving potion in fights to help you move in cobwebs faster, removing the need for water buckets. But this is generally not a good idea, since you still move 50% slower and potions take up inventory space. If you learned something new from this tutorial, please do consider subscribing, as it helps me out a lot.